Hey guys, happy day 9 of Trichmas. I am here to do the live for today. Sorry it's a little late. I ended up taking a nap earlier when I was supposed to do the live, and I don't regret it because I really needed the nap. I'm sorry. I just really needed to sleep. It was just one of those things where it's like I was so exhausted if I didn't start sleeping, I was gonna fall asleep anyways, kind of thing. But anyways, what is going on? People are like revving their engines. Okay. So, I'm just gonna jump right into it because I'm just like chilling in my car right now to do this. The things people say is what the topic of today was, and I have to say that to fellow BFRBers, tricksters, whether you pick, pull, bite your nails, whatever, this is definitely a trigger warning a day because there are certain things that I might say that you might relate to because that you have said, these things have been said to you, and it may trigger an urge or like a trick fit because you recalling the memory could be a trigger, basically is what I'm trying to say, but making it way more complicated for myself like I usually do. Okay, so there's that. Trigger warning. Okay. Yes, reminder, thank you. Okay, so what I was going to do is I'm going to read off some of the things that people say, whether these be family members of a BFRBer, best friend, close friends, acquaintances, co-workers, maybe, classmates, teachers, strangers, basically anyone who notices the physical conditions of your disorder. So like patchy baldness, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, the scabbing and the scars from picking, bloody nails, you can just tell by how the condition of the nail beds. So these are things that people might say, but I do want to say, first of all, to all the people who are watching who do not have a BFRB, and you would most likely say something like this to someone who if you were to see them out in public and found out that they had this disorder, this might be one of like your first responses. Please take note that we appreciate your advice and your wanting to help, but some of the things you say make things worse. So we know that it's all said with good intention. I'm just trying to, spread awareness and, basically for this, if you're not a BFRBer, just be aware of the things you say. Ask what you can do to help instead of just straight up like throwing out opinions about something you don't know about. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right on in here. So what I was gonna do is, as I'm reading these, I'm gonna read it as like how someone might say or ask the question, and then I'm going to answer as myself, like as Carrotney, but because I have a BFRB and how that question makes my mind work. Okay, so the very first one we have is, doesn't it hurt? Well, sometimes, but actually, like, it's a relief. It's a coping mechanism for me, so it actually feels good sometimes. Oh my god, what? It doesn't hurt? Yeah. Okay, next one. You're going to go bald if you keep doing that. No shit. Like we don't think about these things. Jeez, people. Okay, so from one of my good BFRB buddies, from my Pull Free Friday fam, Mama Christy, she remembers her dad saying the first time that he saw her with no eyebrows or eyelashes, she remembers him saying, "Why did you do that?" And I relate to her because I had a similar encounter with my mom with my eyelashes when I first started pulling my eyelashes. And I remember being ashamed that I didn't know why. So when my mom was like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "I don't know." And I was like, and so instead of comforting me about it, my mom was like, "What do you mean you don't know? How do you not know? You don't just pull your eyelashes and not know," which made me only feel worse about it. So, like, I get where she's coming from. And so that's another thing that people say is, why did you do that? Or why would you do that to yourself? And it's not that we want to it's not that I'm like, it's not that I want to pull my hair to make myself go bald or to pull my eyelashes so I don't have eyelashes. That's not what I'm choosing to do. It is a mostly subconscious thing that it's turned into a coping mechanism for me because I've been doing it for years and years, and that's all just part of living with the disorder. So let's move on to the next one because I'm rambling. If I can find my note here. Oh yeah, one of my fave ones. One of my favorites, definitely for sure, is it's just hair. Okay, then why are you judging me so hard if it's just hair? Just saying. I don't understand that one. But also, sometimes to those people, I just want to, you know what I mean? Fuck off, okay? Anyways, going on. Oh yeah, my girl, Bourbon Bison Beauty said, people ask, why do you always wear your hair like that? Because assholes like you ask questions like that. Like, fuck you. Sorry for my language, but, you know, this is obviously something that gets me all riled up. Anyways, okay, so yeah, because people like you ask questions like that, and because I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't need you to approve of the way that I wear my hair. I don't care what you think of the way that I wear my hair. I'm gonna wear my hair in a way that makes me feel comfortable about it. So, Bourbon Bison Beauty, I feel you 100% on that. And then, so one of the, hi Rising, how are you? Thank you for joining. I'm just going through some of the things that people say to people with BFRBs and reading off how people would say it, and then I'm answering it as myself. It's fun, actually. I'm having a good time with it. So I'm gonna keep going. Me and Hinton Mill Era, I don't know if I'm saying that how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that's how it looks like it's supposed to be pronounced. And I don't know your actual name, so I'm sorry. But anyways, so one of the things that a lot of people will say to me, like, it's like one of the first things that most people say when I start talking about the fact that I have trichotillomania, and apparently this is something that a lot of other tricksters have run into, is people always say, why don't you sit on your hands? Or have you tried sitting on your hands? Well, duh, no shit. Like, of course I've tried that. If it worked, I would do it more. Like, what kind of, like, no, I've never thought about that. You are a genius. You've just blown my mind. Thank you. Anyways, okay. Oh, yeah, and then there's that's gross. You're disgusting for doing that. You know what? You're gross. Maybe you're the one that should do some, reflecting. You should be ashamed of yourself. I love this one because, first of all, it's not something that I should be ashamed of. I don't have to be embarrassed by this disorder in the way that it affects me. I've come to terms with the fact that this is a part of me and who I am, and I have the tools to manage it, and it's up to me to continue to manage it. And the more that I've accepted it, the more that the opinion of others doesn't bother me as much. So I have nothing to be ashamed of, and shame on you for thinking that I should be ashamed. So yeah, to people with who say stuff like that, I just want to say, thanks. I'm gonna go dig myself in a hole because your information was just so helpful. That's how helpful your information was to me. And then, oh yeah, fries before small thighs, which actually I fucking love your Insta handle because that is genius. Fries before small thighs, always. That should be like, I need that on a t-shirt. Can someone get me that on a t-shirt? Thanks. Christmas is coming. It could totally be my Christmas present. Anyways, okay. Fries before small thighs said... People will say, oh yes, this is a good one. What will you say when people ask you about it? What are you going to do if people notice it? I'm going to tell them that I have trichotillomania. Well, are they not going to know what that is? Oh, then I'll tell them what that is. It's part of, why they're asking. They don't know what it is. They need to be informed. I will inform them. If they do not want to be informed, then we will both go on with our day. And so sometimes I like to, now that I've gotten comfortable with just my BFRB, and I find it fun to mess with people now. So sometimes when people say stuff like that, oh, so what are you gonna do if people ask you about it? Or what do you do when people... What happens, how do I respond when someone's like, what's wrong with your hair? Or what happened to your arm? Just sometimes I just want to be magic. I don't, just happened to be like that one day. I don't know, mind your own damn business maybe. Or, sometimes with my hair, before I would wear my hair topper, I would have, the top of my head was bald, and then I had my regular hair growing down here because I've always been a scalp puller, but I pull from the top of my scalp, not from the bottom. And so it was kind of like a reverse mullet, I think what you would call it, maybe. Anyways, so I just want to be you don't know, it's all over the internet, everyone's doing this. There's people that stick fake eyelashes in their nostrils to make it look like they have long nose hairs. It's a trend somewhere, I'm sure. Okay. Oh yeah, and then everyone's favorite, this is something that if you have OCD or anything that is related to OCD, people will say this to you. Just stop. If I could just stop, I would. It's not that easy. And that's when it's frustrating, because when you try to explain to yourself that you can stop, they think that you're just making excuses for yourself, when really it's not an excuse. There are so many times that I can think of that I'm pulling, I don't even realize it, or I'm picking, I'm feeling my skin for a bump, and I don't even realize that is happening. And it's not an excuse, and I'm sick of people saying that it is. Okay, guys, so yeah, so saying just stop to someone is basically the same thing as telling an angry person to calm down. It's not doing anything, it just makes the situation worse and doing everyone more harm than good. So don't say that. Just don't ever tell anyone to just stop. Just stop is the same as telling someone to calm down. Nobody wants to hear it. So that is, basically all I got for you. Again, I know that these are all said with good intentions, but we all have to start, there's people that are dealing with battles that you can't even fathom everywhere. And we need to be careful of the things that we're saying and the way that we say things to people. We need to keep our minds open, and we need to not judge before we know our full story. We need to ask the questions to get informed, and then, build your opinion based on the facts. And I do ask that you please share either the post from day 9, which is today, or this video, or anything from my story that I post today regarding just the things that people say when it comes to BFRBs, because we need to spread awareness. We need to make people aware. The louder we talk, the more people hear us. And like I keep saying, we gotta talk about it. And part of talking about it is also sharing the things that we say. So spread awareness, help me get the word out, and share. And every extra share gets you an extra bonus entry into the Trichmas giveaway, which is only like 2 or 3 days away, you guys. There's not very much time left. We're running out of time. So you got to get those entries in, and there's extra ways to get there. There's bonus entries too. You got to just click the link in my bio to find out how to get it. And if you have any questions, as usual, just send them my way, and I will answer them as soon as I can. And you guys have a good rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Goodbye.